Slow it down one. Cessna over the threshold, coming up on the white dot, at or beyond the white dot, left turn first available. I got a high wind coming up on about a half-mile final, clear to land at or beyond. Traffic on the left face, you're following a Cessna down, low off your left. Square it up just a little bit, and then we're going to get you in. Start your descent, though. Start your descent on the base. Traffic on final, give me follow on base. Base traffic, start turning toward the numbers now. High wing coming up on quarter-mile final, take it all the way down to the green. Cessna taxiing on the green, expedite down to the next hard surface. Get me some speed, there you go, go fast. This is going to be good. I got traffic on a mile final. You're following traffic ahead and to your right. High wing coming up on the threshold. Take it all the way down to the green dot.
5 Charlie Sierra, 2 mile final.
A mile final, turn north, and we're going to just make you, we're going to bring you back around. Jet traffic's coming up on about a mile and a half final. Runway 9er clear to land.
Okay, all right, let's listen up, guys. If you're on final for runway 9, I want you to offset to the left. I got a jet that's landing on runway 9. The jet's cleared to land runway 9 if you can make it. If not, just continue straight ahead. It looks like you're going around for the jet. That's fine.
Oh, we had one right in front of us, sir.
Dragger. Let's see, what we got, a tricycle, put it down. Tricycle, put it down. Tail dragger, down to the green dot, then a left turn. Short final here, you cleared land on 9, all the way to the white dot, go down to the white dot. Find somebody to follow out here. Canard, just come to the runway and I might have to just send you around. That'll be fine. And for the jet, you just want to stay in this pattern or you want to go back out for an instrument approach?
Stay in a pattern, Charlie Sierra.
All right, just stay with me here for a minute. And my tail dragger, let's see, over the numbers, go down to the green. And Canard's going to have to go around. Canard, go around. And my high wing here over the runway, keep it airborne. You do not descend. You got a fast guy behind you. Do not descend. There you go. Keep it airborne. As soon as the guy behind you gets slowed down, I'm going to put you down. So keep it airborne. The one that just passed the white dot, make a left turn on the hard surface. All right, my high wing tail dragger, you can put it down now. And Charlie Sierra, let me get you about a mile off. Let's see, Charlie Sierra, I lost. There you are. Make a left-hand turn. I'll try to resequence you here on the down ones. We'll see how it looks. Short final, you're clear to land runway 9 on the white dot. There you go. And the tricycle left on the hard surface and follow the flagman. Welcome. Thanks for being part of the show. And let's see, just find somebody to follow on the final, and as you get close to the runway, if it's not going to work, we're going to send you around and then try to re-sequence you. Now, who else got sent around that's not back on the down one? The Canard?
Yeah, Canard.
All right, Canard, there's a Gulfstream up there that went around too. I just lost sight of him, but you're going to make kind of a left-hand turn and stay low. I think Charlie Sierra, what's your altitude?
3,200.
Okay, that'll be fine. Just maintain VFR. I don't know what else is up there above you. Probably most everybody's down here, so just make a left-hand turn. We'll try to get you back here.
Canard's got the jet in sight.
Okay, the RV, maybe an RV-10, whatever, here on final. Keep your speed up and go all the way down to the, aim for the green dot for me. Actually, keep your speed up. There's a guy behind you. Aim for the green dot, and I'm sure that's plenty of room for you to land on runway 9. You're clear to land on runway 9. Number 2, you're going to go down to the white dot. Follow the white dot. Actually, you know what? That's 1,500 feet. You're going to land at the white dot. The spacing looks adequate here. 2 guys on final. You're kind of tight there. Keep each other in sight, and you're going to aim for the white dot. If it's not going to work, we'll come up with a plan B. We might have to send you around. The second guy behind you out there in about a 2-mile final. Are you slow enough to be able to follow that guy in front of you? You need to go around. Well, I probably shouldn't ask that because I had about 5 guys answer me, so I should know better than that after 35 years, you would think, right? All right, so let me see. The guy who's number 1, it's number 1. What kind of airplane is he? An RV type. All right, RV type. Keep it airborne for me. And I got a fast guy behind you. The number 2 guy over the trees there. Go ahead and put it down on the numbers. My first guy just coming up on the numbers at the over the grass at the numbers. I want you to keep it.
T-minus 1 minute and counting.
Hello.
Four, 3, 2, 1.
Hello.
Welcome everybody to this Thursday, 23rd of December, pre-Christmas live stream. Where is it? Down there.
Down there.
And look, we've got a new Dave. Dave's gone away to Lapland
Christmas.
or something. And so we've got Brian Turner. You remember Brian from that great quiz that came out after Dave?
I won the quiz, and so I won Dave's job.
Yes.
I'm not sure that would be a great incentive to win the quiz, but
Yeah, I want to talk about my 5 favorite YouTube channels real quick.
before we have to close you down.
Yeah, this is a rotating spot.
Yeah, absolutely. So welcome, Brian. We've got a great show lined up for you. We've got Simon Keeling here live with a very special jumper that I can see. We've got Sam Rutherford. Unfortunately, we couldn't get Zara. She's asleep. So we've got Sam to talk to find out a little bit about Zara's trip. But first of all, we have to thank SkyDemon. SkyDemon, thank you very much for sponsoring us this year. It's been hugely valuable and very appreciated. Out there somewhere, in YouTube land, there's a compilation of 10 SkyDemon tips coming up next week. Well, we'll tell you about next week a bit later. Next year there'll be some more SkyDemon tips, but for now, here's another quick SkyDemon tip for you.
Hi, I'm Tim from SkyDemon. Welcome to today's top tip. If you regularly fly to visit friends at farm strips, or you want to check out your forced landing options somewhere, you might want to measure features on the ground. Here I'm going to open the What's Here menu for Jim's farm and go to Aerial Photography. Once the photography is loaded, you can explore it and then press the ruler button at the top right. Touch somewhere on the map for the first point, then touch again for the second point, and a ruler appears. We can see this field is about 545 meters across. You can drag the ruler around to measure anything you like on the ground. When you're done, just press the ruler again. For more information and tips on using SkyDemon, go to skydemon.aero and choose Help and Support.
Top tip.
Very good. He's such a soothing voice. I can't wait for soothing things from Tim, like a new series.
Nighttime stories.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe we should get Tim to record some checklists so that if you're flying along and you got an engine failure, you just hit the thing and you get the soothing Tim. So you've got an engine failure. I suggest
Are you on fire?
Don't panic.
Yes. Yeah.
See,
that wing looks very loose.
If I'd have made that video, I would definitely have illustrated it by measuring the Cernabus giant or something.
That would be lost on Brian, but
yeah, I have no idea. I was just nodding and laughing.
That's fine. We'll give you Google tips later. Brian, it's already come up in the comments. Stuart Rue says, "Please ask Brian, where can I get the Etch-a-Sketch glass panel? I need to upgrade next year."
Stuart, I make them to order, so if you just send the money to my address, I understand it's easy to find. I'll get one made for you.
Do you have any kind of avionics approval from the FAA for that Etch-a-Sketch?
I'm not familiar with FAA approval on pretty much anything. I just do it, and then
brilliant.
If they don't say anything, don't hear anything, it's good to go.
Yeah, they'll never find out from here anyway. So that's
no.
Now it's traditional at this point in time that I normally move on to the news, having forgotten the weather. But I can see Simon down there. So this week we're going to somehow go to Simon. I'm going to add Simon to the screen. I'm going to move Simon up into the top left-hand corner. Hello, Simon. How you doing?
Evening, all. I'm very well, thank you. You?
I'm good as well. Now I think Ed made you big, and you're ready to give us the weather. And at the appropriate point, I'll click the little weather thing.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, here we go. So we've got it all ready for you then. The Christmas forecast. I think for some of us, it's going to be okay. For others, not so great flying over the Christmas holiday, I'm afraid, or at least the Christmas weekend. Next week, are trying to spot some weather windows for you. I think there will be a few in there. Just put the satellite picture up for you here because I could. Just shows a really nice clearance coming in from the west during the course of this afternoon. and the rain clearing off towards the east that we've seen during the course of today. That little window is going to be hanging around during the course of tomorrow morning across central and southern parts of the country. Got that cloudy front, though, that's coming in from the southwest, look, for Christmas Eve morning, bringing some outbreaks of rain into southwestern parts of Wales and southwestern England. Another set of weak fronts over central Scotland, northern England. I think we're going to get some rain here. Both of those areas probably bringing this base is somewhere between about 1,000 and 2,000 feet. So it's not exactly superb, and the visibility will be reduced as well. But in between, apart from one or two fog patches early tomorrow morning, I think a Christmas Eve flight may just be doable, as it will be in the far north of Scotland as well. Now, for Christmas Day, those fronts hanging around in the south of the country again. So I think certainly one to just stuff your face with a Christmas dinner. Don't worry too much about flying if you're across central and southern parts of England. You can see here on the ceiling forecast, the base is forecast between less than 500 feet and about 1,000 feet. But it is better across northern England and across Scotland, where the cloud is going to be more broken. Bases are going to be higher at about 2,000 to 4,000 feet. And actually not bad conditions here. So a Christmas Day flight for Scotland, perhaps northern England, is just looking okay for the afternoon. And then Boxing Day, of course, Sunday, we've got that front that sort of hangs around Northern Ireland, going into northern parts of England. That has lots of residual cloud associated with it. That's going to be through central parts of Wales, through central parts of England as well. So some outbreaks of rain, pretty low bases again, sort of 500 to 1,000 feet there. Much better in Scotland, where we're going to be seeing bases 4,000 feet plus and some decent broken cloud as well. Across the far south of England, things may improve later on in the day, but I think we're clutching at straws a little bit. I do actually think you're better off holding off until we get into the main part of the week, if you can do it, because I think there will be some better weather around, although again, only in short windows. Now, if you're still looking for a Christmas present, why not get yourself booked onto Aviation Weather School Part 1? I'm running my next course on the consecutive Saturday mornings of the 5th and the 12th of February. I think we've got 3 places left at the moment. So if you want to book your place now, go to weatherschool.co.uk. It'll make a perfect Christmas present. I'll show you how to really use the weather for flying so that you can get flying more. Okay, I'll leave you with that, guys. Have a fantastic Christmas. Whatever you're doing, enjoy yourselves. If you are flying, fly safely and watch out for that big guy in red, won't you, flying around the sky tomorrow night. I'll catch you next week. Bye now.
Simon, before you go, there's a quick question from Sam, who's coming along later. He said, can you just give us a quick weather analysis for Zara flying from Jakarta to Singapore with a departure of 30 minutes after midnight Zulu, please?
Yeah, of course. I've got that in my head. I'll just spin that up for you. Do you want to give me a couple of minutes and I'll come back to you?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll talk to you in a minute. Thanks very much.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was almost smooth.
Yes.
Couple of things different tonight, because it's the Christmas edition for you. First thing is, I think we're all here with our Christmas spirits. Although Brian, as it's the afternoon, I think he's having water or something. Or, yeah, clearly water.
It's 1 o'clock here. I got the non-alcoholic version, but cheers anyway.
Cheers, cheers, everyone. And I've got 3 little Christmas questions for you, which the first of which is coming up now. So please feel free to have a go. So the way this is going to work is I'll run you a little, very, very short video with a number in it. And all you have to do is come up with the question that produces that answer. So it's open to everybody out there, open to the people here. They've never seen it before. I've kept the answers separate. So we're going to start off with a really, really easy one, just so that everyone gets the hang of it. So are you ready for the first question? First Christmas quiz question. Here it is.
Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way.
So we have to guess. We have to guess what the question is for that answer.
You've got it, and this is like the super easy one, just to get it.
Is that like how high you need to go to get over Farnborough's airspace?
No, not.
Is that how much money Sam has spent working towards his first solo?
That's how much Simon spent. You mean? No,
Simon? Yes. Yeah.
That's a good. Yeah.
Ed, got any idea?
Is it the number of followers that Brian has?
No, I'm sure he's got more than that.
No.
Have we got anyone in the comments?
We've got a good one from Steve Middleton.
Yeah, we both went for that. Oh no, Steve Middleton says, "How many drone sites popped up?" Yeah, that's probably too few. PPLs in the UK.
No.
How low it takes. I think there's more question to come there.
Yeah. Well,
Complaints to the CA this year.
Complaints about the CA this year, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's none of those. It's a fairly. How
many members in the flying club? Number of Cessna 172s made.
Eugene's got it.
Mike had a good one. Backlog of CA licenses.
Let's just play the answer and see whether this works or not.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
There you go.
Well done.
Very good. My favourite, though, which I missed. How many times is Brian projected to visit the FISDOM in 2022?
That's the target.
Okay.
Yeah, that's an aspiration. So, jolly good. Well, we'll have another question coming up a little bit later. So, I think it's probably time for some news, isn't it? So let's head on over to the.
Simon's got the weather for Sam and Zara. There we go. Make of that what you will. I've forgotten all skills for decoding that.
2000 becoming 24 on 24. 3. Give it weather 10 pages. I'm not sure I like the.
No.
Storms and rain bit, but
TFRA, yeah.
Bit of jiggery pokery around there. They're only tempos, aren't they? I don't know how long the flight is from Jakarta.
Yeah, as Simon says, best watch out for some thunderstorms.
Yeah.
Thank you. Moderate viz, don't like the thunderstorms bit. There we go. That's your Simon forecast. Good luck, Zara.
Tell you what, look at that. Just service, isn't it? Absolute service.
I know, yeah.
Right, let's move on with the show. Otherwise, we'll be here all night. And first up is Ed, who's going to tell us about the new issue.
The new issue is just out this week. What do we got for you? Well, it's been talked about a lot on the live stream and elsewhere in the flying world. We've got a flight test of the Cub Crafters NX Cub, the nose wheel Cub that the makers reckon is going to become one of their most successful products. If you're thinking about adding an aerobatics rating to your PPL, you can find out how Leah Fay did just that with Ultimate High. We've got a flying adventure where Chris Bullock and Lee Wilson overfly a whole bunch of UK motor racing circuits in honour of the late Sir Stirling Moss to raise money for charity for a dawn to dusk flying challenge. In Top Gear, I put a couple of Sensicon Aviate active CO detectors to the test. Plus, if you're a Flyer Club member, save £35 with free landing vouchers for Blackpool, Eschot, Holmbeck Farm and Middlezoy, plus all the usual great columns and the news. And it's free, and someone will probably remember to put a link in the comments.
Yes, absolutely. Someone should really definitely do that.
Yeah.
Johnny, you can't do it just yet because you've got the next story. And this is a great story if you got the money.
Basically, if you want to buy an airfield, it's hangars, a fuel farm, offices, all of that, and it's in Spain, so it's going to have decent weather. You can now. So this is, I won't pronounce it properly, but Ocana airfield, which is about 60 kilometres from Madrid. It's been up for a public auction. The minimum bid is just over €1 million. It's big. It's a 380,000 square metre facility. It's got 2 runways, 1,200 metres and 700 metres. And it's got a 23,000 square metre parking apron, which is pretty good. And you can find out more about it on the Fly website. And Ed will post the link to our crowdfunding campaign for the 4 of us to move out there.
Yeah, we put in 15 quid of our own money already.
That's it. That's the Flyer summer retreat, I think, or probably the Flyer winter retreat, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's just south of Madrid, isn't it? So it's going to be pretty hot in the summer, pretty brutal, I would imagine.
Yeah, same with winter.
If you do buy that as a result of seeing it here, then you can give us a couple of free landings. That'll be jolly good. Johnny's always after a free landing. Madrid. Excellent. My story next, and here's a clue to when I get it ready. Here's a clue to my story. That's it. The UK, according to the Minister for Transport or Secretary of State for Transport, Grant Shapps, is the best place in the world for general aviation. So what did they do on the 21st of December? They wrote some shitty, crappy rule that means FAA licensed certificated pilots can't fly NREG or GREG aircraft in the UK anymore. They can fly an NREG aircraft with their license anywhere else in the world apart from the place they live, but not in the UK. You can actually technically fly a non-Part 21 aircraft on your FAA license until they get around to sorting that out. But it is just absolute, complete and utter crapola. I did email Grant a couple of times, and he, to be fair to him, he did email back saying it was something they couldn't fix because there wasn't enough legislative time to get the primary shouldn't be drinking gin, primary legislation through. I'm not entirely sure I buy that. I did say to him, I'm not entirely sure I buy it. And he came back and said, well, if that's the case, so it takes a long time to do that kind of thing. So basically, a dumb move that takes the UK from, doesn't move the UK towards being one of the best places in the world for aviation at all. It just moves it in the wrong freaking direction, Grant. Please get it sorted. If we didn't have enough time, anyway, just see if you can get it sorted out now. That'd be great, wouldn't it? Yeah. Right, sorry, that's my story. I'm not going to carry on. Brian, you've got a story now. I don't know if you knew about that.
No, I didn't. Yeah, but I got a sore throat. Do you want to speak for me?
Here's the picture clue. Do you recognize this at all?
Yeah, I'm speechless. I do recognize that picture, and I can't talk about it, man. I'm gonna need someone to help me with this one.
I'm guessing Johnny didn't brief Brian on the hey. Let's give Johnny an item. Let's give Brian an item for the news.
This is my favorite thing: is just being put on the spot by you guys. I love it.
Okay, so a couple of clues. That is an airport, which I'm sure you figured out already. It's in Santa Clara County, California, and it's Reed Hillview Airport. Does that help at all? No.
I'm not frozen. I'm just clueless.
Okay, so basically, were you to land there at some stage? Presumably, it hasn't started yet, but next year. This is one of those airports. Santa Clara County in California is banning the sale of 100 LL low-lead avgas at its airports, and Reed Hillview is one of them. And Reed Hillview is also an airport that's been under quite a lot of pressure recently. As you can see there, it's a nice bit of real estate in what looks like an expensive area. So there's a few people who wouldn't mind building some houses. So there's some concern that the 100 LL anti-lobby stroke real estate developer lobby are moving towards that. So yeah, there you go. That's the beginning of the ban of 100 low lead in California. So that's a bad thing.
That's how we're going to make the UK the best place to fly, by just killing it in the States.
Yeah. To be fair, you'd have to do quite a lot of killing because we got a bit of a gap to catch up at the moment. You guys are pretty much nailing it at the moment, I have to say. But Johnny, did you brief yourself about the next story, or do we have to do that one?
I did indeed.
Johnny's been on.
This is all about Dynon, isn't it?
There you go.
Yeah, I've been shopping beer today. So yeah, Dynon. So basically, warning of delays in delivering products because of a global supply chain crisis, as with many other things like the older microchips and that sort of thing. So the delay affects experimental and certified avionics. They've basically said that the current supply chain crisis has caused them to increase supply commitments and dramatically increase delivery times, which is impacting their ability to get critical components into stock. So this has kind of mainly affected experimental aircraft over the whole, sort of period of that this has been going on. They found alternative components, but that obviously comes with much higher prices. But those components really are critical to the Skyview displays, and they're unable. Sorry, I've been shouldn't have been too much beer to manufacture or ship the experimental Skyview HDX and the classic displays. So but they've also, Ed, you mentioned this and I missed that, and I'm on a completely different screen, so I can anything.
Shall I? I can pick up.
They've specified the Bonanza, haven't they?
Yeah, I can pick up on that because it might blow your internet. But yeah, so Dynon have just announced that they've finally certified the Skyview HDX system for installation in the A36 Bonanza, which I know is been a hotly awaited thing. But they've got a whole bunch of kit that makes installation of that much quicker and faster. So you can put the screens in, and then they've got some clever bits that go behind that all the little control units attached to. So hopefully Avionics houses can do the work, get you a glass screen upgrade, and do it faster and quicker. So, but yeah, so that's finally come along. So good news, because that's Dynon have kind of worked hard on that. So
it'll be faster and quicker if only you could get hold of them in the first place.
That's it. As Vince says, Johnny doesn't use the internet; he uses smoke signals. That's why he's got that fire tonight.
Maybe if you stop live streaming that bloody fire to the TV, you won't nickel your bandwidth.
That's downloaded.
Right,
good.
Ed.
Right, me.
You again.
Electronic conspicuity news. So, EC system manufacturer PilotWare has announced its latest SkyGrid upgrade. PilotWare claims that with SkyGrid, each airborne PilotWare device will become the equivalent of an airborne atom station, relaying all known traffic information detected from multiple sources, including the UK's 230 atom stations, which have apparently also been upgraded. PilotWare says that low-flying aircraft and drones will particularly benefit from the update, which will relay all node traffic either from atom stations below or the sky grid up above. They also point out that if you're flying but not in range of an atom station, the system will seek an airborne sky grid user to provide coverage. PilotWare boss Keith Vinning told Flyer the range of a relay at 3,000 to 4,000 feet is phenomenal, and with an average of 300 to 400 PilotWare aircraft in the air during the day, the coverage should be phenomenal. Wow. So,
is that phenomenal centimeters, phenomenal inches, miles, kilometers, or phenomenal? Which units are those phenomenals in?
I don't know, but they are quoted phenomenals.
Okay.
Yes. So other features are included in the SkyGrid update, which you can download from the site. Interestingly, they say they will be enabled remotely later in 2022. Users can update SkyGrid using the PilotWare firmware updater. You need to be running and get ready for the science bit. Software later than 201.90621. So there we go. So PilotWare users from New Year upgrade. See what happens.
We look forward to testing that when we upgrade our software and stuff and working out how many phenomenals there are. So I'm going to get in trouble for that. I'm going to get an email. I can tell later. Never mind. Right, Brian.
I see a flaw in this plan.
What's that? Yeah.
We're going to throw you under the bus again for your news story. Here you go. You ready?
Oh yeah, So this is an amazing thing. It's just awesome. Look at it.
Is this your new aeroplane?
Yep.
This is what you've traded the Grumman for.
Yeah.
So, for anyone who wants a little bit more detail.
I feel like I did a good job.
Yeah, no, you did a fantastic job. It's amazing because that is an awesome airplane. That is the modern Bonanza, the VTOL Bonanza, as you can see, made from unobtainium. But this is actually the Archer aircraft, which has just made its first flight, which was a bit of a hover. And there's a video on YouTube somewhere. It's raining when they do it, and it was remotely controlled, wasn't piloted. And there you go. They're spending a whole bunch of money on eVTOL stuff. So I guess we're all wondering whether next year is going to be the year of the eVTOL or not. We'll see. Certainly a whole bunch of money being spent.
That kind of sky vehicle looks like it should have the Turner Etch-a-Sketch instrument panel.
Probably. Those things, would you guys get in those things? All these little things that are popping up with these electric motors, they kind of scare me a bit.
I would imagine you're not, when you work for a company like that, you're not allowed to use the words like scares me a bit.
Not initially, I wouldn't, no.
Especially the non-piloted ones, because we hear all these stories about the taxis and whatnot that are these air taxis, and that makes me nervous.
They could. This might be a nice time to bring. I know you showed us in the green room earlier, but you have your little head alongside you at the moment. You could take your little head and put it on that could be mounted on the dash of an eVTOL to reassure operators, the passengers of such things, that they were in good hands.
Absolutely. Okay, so there you go. Just a little quick update on the Aviators Ball. Some of you remember that we spoke about the Aviators Ball and the auction, and we've actually got coming up in 2022 two guest presenters, Darren Lewington, Hamish, help me out here. Hamish
Mitchell.
Mitchell, there you go. Sorry, Hamish, I do apologise. Hamish Mitchell are going to both come on and go for absolute mega rants about all sorts of things. So that's going to be great. Anyway, the Aviators Ball, which was here, which was a fantastic evening. There you go, red arrows all lined up. Not in a particularly straight line, it has to be said. So need a little bit of whipping into position, don't they? But there you go. That was a fantastic evening. They raised £115,000. So well done them. We may even do a little bit of fundraising ourselves for them next year. And finally, on the news thing before we move on, just a quick one about what's happening next week. Next Thursday, there won't be a live stream for various reasons. Partly because people need some time off. Partly because if there are no restrictions, my daughter's getting married, and so we have got for you a live stream that's due to premiere at 7:30 next week, with 3 great interviews from the year and a few other bits and pieces thrown in. So feel free to tune in and watch that. Unfortunately, we won't be here, and it is a pre-record, so we will be there. So that's the thing. And before anyone asks, I know I look far too young to have a daughter old enough to get that. Before we'll move on to Sam very, very shortly. Before we do, I think we should just have one other question in there. So let me just peel down this. Here you go. There's only 3 of these, and this is number 2. So.
Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way.
There you go. You didn't get stop googling it, people out there. But
so again, it's what question does it's what question does that answer?
You've got it. You've got it exactly. So let's have a few. It's going to be interesting. That doesn't appear to have worked, but we'll see whether that does work or not. So what do you reckon then? Ryan, got any ideas?
Colin Wilkinson says, highest a balloon has risen to. Paul Fraser Benison says, edge of space.
What is the shortest runway I'm willing to land a Cirrus on?
Nope. It's the shortest runway.
Yeah, is it the height that a record-breaking glider has flown to?
Nope.
How long is Boris's nose after the last Christmas work event?
No, it's much longer than that.
How high U2 needs to be to glide from the US to the UK? That would be an interesting science experiment.
Yeah. Ryan, can you get your hands on a U2?
I don't think so.
Okay. It's free from parachute jump. No. Could be. So I'm not entirely sure that technology has worked here, so I'm going to play you the answer anyway, if we're ready for the answer.
Where is Dave now?
Here we go. Maybe.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Wow.
Blimey.
Astounding, isn't it?
Oh, that guy, guy in the suit looked. Yeah, the guy in the suit looked like he just needed Brian's elf hat.
Yeah. I was looking for questions earlier, and I saw that one. I thought, bloody hell! It's like just a big open cockpit biplane, for God's sake. That's mad. It took another 10 years to outdo that. 10 years and a rocket to outdo that.
Wow.
Anyway, there you go.
Paul Mansfield said it was too quick to see.
Hang on a minute, Paul. I'll play it again. Are you ready for this? Here you go. Pay attention.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Very good.
There you go. And if you miss it, it'll be available on YouTube for replay, whenever you want. So anyway, enough of all that. I think it's time to bring Sam on. So let's see if we can work this one out here. Hello, Sam. How you doing?
Very well, thank you. Very well. And you guys?
Yeah, great. Johnny, over to you.
Yeah, well, hopefully my internet connection will be stable enough.
Yeah.
But first question, Sam, is where is Zara?
Where is Zara? So Zara is, as per the tracking on her website, plug, in Jakarta, where she's been for a couple of days now. So her second antipodal. So for the first time in the entire trip, she is now literally just heading home. But she's right in the middle of the itch, or the intertropical convergence zone. So we did a first attempt yesterday, but she decided not to fly. And I am already on weather watch. In about 2 hours' time, we'll make an initial go, no go. And then my weather watch finishes at about 5 a.m. your time. But it's looking good at the moment. So, and with thanks to Simon's deep and in-depth analysis, although to be fair, he had about 30 seconds of notice, and we're spending months looking at all this stuff. I think she's got a reasonable chance of getting to Singapore. What is our today and her tomorrow?
Good. Yeah, we've posted a link website in the comments for people. Second question: how good is Zara's Russian now?
Dos Vidania is probably about it. So she obviously got stuck a couple of times. The big one was she was stuck for the best part, almost 3 weeks in Ayan, which is Siberians don't know where Ayan is, and obviously it's in Siberia. What she discovered there in the population of 600 were there were two people with whom she could converse. There was the local school teacher, who was also the headmistress. Deputy mayor, ran the post office and was, the fishing trawling feat, who spoke terrible French, but that was a means of communication. And then amazingly, there was a Thai lady running a Thai restaurant, go figure, who spoke very good English. So unfortunately, she managed to escape learning some Russian by mashing through in vaguely usable English and almost unusable French.
Excellent, good on her. So another question, which is to the flying now, the route or the sector rather from Vladivostok to Korea, and then South Korea, the very tip of South Korea to Taiwan. They were almost the longest over water flights that she'd done, weren't they?
Yes, certainly the first one. So I mean, we did actually apply to Kim for a permit to fly through. We thought, well, nothing ventured, nothing gained. We didn't hear anything back though. Occasionally they do give permission, but that wasn't forthcoming. So that was definitely her longest overwater leg so far. And then the second longest one was, as you point out, from Korea down to Taiwan. But she's got some longer ones coming up. Although they are longer, the water is a lot warmer. So I'm not sure if that's really part of the analysis. We're trying not to focus too much on that. But yes, that was definitely her longest so far, was that long schlep around North Korean airspace.
And now you're in the process of kind of rejigging the route slightly, aren't you, for the way back from Singapore onwards? Give us a bit more insight into that.
I can. So we've had a lot of questions about why the board has briefly pinged up with various ICAOs and then gone back to TBA. We're about to update it again. So the short answer is, and particularly with Christmas and New Year coming up, Thailand changed their restrictions 36 hours ago, with the result that even air crew, all the tourists are now pretty much stopped. Even air crew have to stay in a quarantine hotel and they have to be PCR checked and everything else. And with all due respect to the Thais, and they're wonderful people, and I'm sure it would be absolutely fine. The current situation is that her PCR test on arrival, if it comes out as positive, she is sent off for what is quoted as treatment. And we have all decided, but Zara first, that that was a slightly undefined process that she would prefer to avoid. So we've been rushing around for a world of different options. And of course, there aren't that many options in that part of the world. But I am pleased to say that as of about 4 hours ago, the Sri Lankans have given a permit. So the current routing that will shortly be appearing on the board, with the Indonesians helping as well, is that although she's heading to Singapore, hopefully in a few hours' time, she'll actually then be heading back into Indonesia. But Indonesia, as most of you or all of you will know, is a very long country. So she'll then be heading west from Singapore to Bandar Aceh for an overnight, and then she carries on there for what will be her newest, longest overwater leg direct from Indonesia to Colombo, Sri Lanka. And then from there, she has another very long one, long one up to into India. The Indian permits are currently under process because they all needed to be changed. And then from there, she has a very long one, in theory, at least from Bombay all the way to Dubai in one hit, which is, if anyone has a globe in front of them, that is a long way.
It's going to be quite warm,
I need to
isn't
get
it?
SkyDemon ruler out to measure it.
1,049 nautical miles.
Wow.
So what's that, 7 hours or something?
Yeah, it should be about 7.4. That's far too precise. We all fly. Somewhere between 7 and 8 hours, hopefully.
Yeah. So good question from Steve there. Where's she hoping to spend Christmas and New Year?
No,
we're not dealing with difficult questions this evening. Just easy ones, please.
Yeah.
We have no idea. Clearly, I'll be able to give you a much more accurate answer on that in about 36 hours. It will either, slightly more usefully, it will either be Indonesia if she's not able to move from there in the next 36 hours. Singapore, if she's able to get to Singapore, we're not able to move on. Or Bandar Aceh if she's been able to stick to what is her new schedule. So she'll find herself in a very friendly, but one of the most Muslim countries and one of the most Muslim parts of that country in the world. So that's going to be fascinating. But she's taking it 1 hour at a time. And it's not a factor in the planning either. If the weather is good, she flies. And if it isn't, she doesn't.
So quick question for me. Who's having the most stressful time of it? Is it Zara? Is it you? Or is it her mum?
Out of those three, can I say none?
Yeah.
It's fairly full on. It's fairly full on. When we talked about it, when she came up with the idea and said that this is what she wanted to do, I said, well, there is one word that I'm going to tell you. You think you understand it, but you don't yet. And that word is relentless. It is utterly relentless. Even her days off, people want to say hello, they want to be smiley, they want to go and show her the local sites, whatever it is. And it's all good. Luckily, the unremitting pace of things, even the non-flying parts, is outweighed by the positive energy. At the same time, there does come a stage where you have to just recharge your batteries and get some downtime. So it's pretty full on. For myself, I'm obviously helping from in the flight ops side, ably helped by Megan, who is a newly minted UK CPL holder. And when Zara finally gets home, she'll be released to actually get a real job. So after the airline. So Megan has been absolutely amazing and wonderful. So we're on flight ops, and we run a very weird time frame in that my working day for Zara is starting in about an hour's time, and we'll finish at about 5 o'clock tomorrow morning, when the Sri Lankan CAA will have woken up, and the Dubai CAA have woken up, and the Saudi Arabians are asking what the plan is there, etc. So it's relentless there. And for those of you who've been following the social media, so Bea, or Beatrice, Zara's mum, is working really hard on that to make sure that we're feeding out what Zara's up to, and also we're sticking to message. There's very little point flying around the world just to fly around the world on a bit of an ego trip. This is very much a question of showing to the world that young women can have, favorite word of Zara, these crazy dreams, and actually achieve them. And that they shouldn't be prevented by the greater world saying, no, you're a woman and that's not really your thing to be doing. So we need to stay on message for Zara and for everyone who's following. So that's also relentless and unstopping. I think, and it's not just us actually. I've had there are quite a lot of messages on Facebook and various other platforms. People saying, "Oh, I'm so desperate for her to get home because I can finally get on with the rest of my life." So there are an awful lot of people who get up in the morning and just switch on their computer to find out where she is, and if she's actually in the air, they're just watching that little airplane fly infinitely slowly, apparently, across the world. So, and to all of you and all of them, thank you so much. As I referred to positive energy earlier, but it has been amazing. The global, literally global support that she's getting, and that's fantastic. So there you go. That was a very long answer to a very short question.
Yeah, certainly. When we were hoping to get her on last week, I think it was. And everyone I spoke to that week said to me, "I said, if you get Zara on, please, send her our congratulations and support and stuff like that." Everyone I've spoken to has been really hugely supportive about it, which is kind of a not always a universal thing with this kind of thing. But Zara has really kind of nailed it as far as that's concerned. So.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah,
great.
Okay, has anyone got any more questions out there? I'm presumably
there was one more, I think, which was the KLM pilot who helped her out. Were you able to get in touch?
Yes. Yeah. So that was a huge success. That was really the jungle drums went crazy, went nuts, and I think it took us about 8 or 9 hours. And so we're in touch with both pilots. So it's the first officer, who's a young guy who was actually on the radio chatting to Zara. And then obviously we got in touch with the captain as well. So they're all over it. It's all good stuff. Interestingly, KLM were less sure about wanting to make a big thing of it, which is absolutely fine. So in response to whoever asked that question, yes. And we're hoping that Zara will meet them at the end of the trip. She'll fly her little shark up to the Netherlands and give them a flight, which will be a bit of an eye opener to somebody flying an Airbus. But there we go. So thank you very much. Yes, it was all good.
Has Zara got to give the airplane back at the end?
She does, unfortunately. So notwithstanding the extraordinary generosity of Shark to loan this amazing machine, and it truly is. I don't know if you've never seen one in real, then do try to get an opportunity. I know there'll be one at Aero Expo in Friedrichshafen. There are 3 flying in the US. They're unicorn teeth in the US. But if you get to see one, they are miniature spaceships. It is truly an extraordinary machine. You can see what Zara's been doing with it the last few weeks. And also, briefly on a fractionally more serious note, but it is, this is my definition of the archetypal example or reason how legislation has fallen behind technology. The idea that a Cessna 152 from 1960 is safer or better in any way, shape, or form than this airplane is quite frankly ridiculous. And that I think is machines like this that are bringing legislation and allowing for, we all know about the 600 kilograms and in the US, they're, as always, they're already more advanced. But it is an amazing, incredibly capable and incredibly safe aircraft. So the sooner it gets more mainstream and is allowed to fly at night and is allowed to fly, it can fly a full ILS, no problems at all. It's all there. You just push a button and it'll do the whole thing. So there we go. Amazing airplane, but she has to give it back.
That's a shame, isn't it? Maybe she could just hang on for it a little bit. So thank you very much for your time, Sam. Thanks for trying to get Zara on for us. Hopefully we can arrange that again before she gets back. But if not, perhaps we can. Perhaps when she's got some time and she's had a breather, we can sort something out for a kind of a bigger in-person get-together or something.
Well, definitely. I mean, I think things will certainly get a lot easier once the time difference is reduced. Because live stream's better, and we can try for a recorder. But I think perhaps I know that next week you don't have one, perhaps the week after. And in any event, I think something for Touchwood, her grand arrival back in Belgium, hopefully on the 13th, Thursday the 13th of January. We need to get you guys involved because you've been hugely supportive from the very, very start, which is really, really appreciated. So to all of you, thank you.
Well, you've all done a fantastic job. So well done on that. Hugely inspirational. Has she got any? I knew at one point she was writing university applications. Has she got any offers for uni next year, or? I
was chatting to Bear, so my wife and Zara's mum a little earlier about things to say, and the only thing that I did have to get in there was that we need, and particularly we, and looking at the panel, old white men. We do need to be encouraging young women into our world because it is a beautiful, wonderful, and a fantastic world, which is why we're in it. But the other thing was to talk about, so it's on the QT, here it is on flyer, but she has had an offer from an Ivy League university in the US. And of course she wants to be an astronaut. So whilst that can sound, certainly out of if I want to be an astronaut as well. In fact, I suspect we all want to be astronauts. Yeah. But she may just be.
Got the hat already.
She may just be uniquely positioned to actually have a crack at it. So who knows? And that comes back to the mission as well. Have these wild dreams and go for them, because the worst you can do is not achieve them. And hey, that's what at least you tried.
Absolutely. We absolutely look forward to interviewing Zara when she's up at the ISS.
She won't be solo there, I don't think, though.
No. There's one suggestion. Someone says, "Can we crowdfund the aircraft for her?"
Well, that's a very kind offer. I think actually how Zara would reply to that if she was here was to say that on the website she does have her two favored or chosen charities. So there's Girls Who Code, which is set up to encourage young women into coding. I don't know what the statistics are there in terms of male to female ratio, but I imagine it's pretty catastrophic as well. So Girls Who Code, and also Dreams Soar, which actually was started by the current youngest woman to fly solo around the world, record holder, Shasta Wise, and she's been helping Zara as well, and that is encouraging young women into aviation. So if somebody does have a few pence to spare, I think they will be well sent in either of those two directions, and they are both on Zara's website in the partners section. So, but thank you very much. It's a very kind offer, and all good.
So, in an interesting aviation full circle thing here, there's a little thing ringing in the back of my head, and I've just Googled it here. SkyDemon, who sponsor the live stream, have also done quite a bit. Tim Dawson does it quite quietly, but it is on the web, so I'm allowed to talk about it. Sponsor a conference for an organisation called Code First Girls, which encourages more women and girls into coding. So I know that SkyDemon's very involved in that. So there you go.
Yeah, and there are some who say that the future of the world is actually coding. If I knew anything about it at all, I would have a position to make a judgment. But I know nothing about it at all. If it works, it works, and if it doesn't,
I think they're probably right, to be honest. So thank you very much. Thanks for coming on. And we've enjoyed speaking to you, and we look forward to. No, don't take this personally, but we also look forward to speaking to Zara at some stage in the future.
Yeah, well aware I'm the poor substitute, but thank you very much for everything. Fantastic show, and next one on will be Zara, I promise.
It's a pleasure.
Thanks,
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Sam.
Let me see if I can find the right button to press. So at this time, should we move to Fantasy Hangar?
Yes, sounds good.
Time for No.
Very good. So, time for Fancy Hangar, and this week it's all about one thing. If you could come downstairs and find one aeroplane in your hangar on Christmas Day, what would it be? So, who's first?
I think it's me.
Oh, Johnny, what's it going to be?
It is you, Johnny.
There were two that I couldn't quite pick between, and I've uploaded pictures, but I'm going to go for them now. Here we go.
Ah, yes.
I would love to find that under the Christmas tree. And it's, you know, yeah, there's none in the UK. I'd love to bring one over here one day. It's a fantastic looking machine, you know, basically built to satisfy the desires of Second World War fighter pilots after the war, for them to rip around the US in. I just think they look fantastic. They must be great fun to fly. That's what I love to find under the Christmas tree.
There's one of those in the hangar, two rows over from mine. It's in a little open T hangar. It sits out there. It's this so tiny. It looks like a lot of fun, though, but it looks like most people wouldn't fit in it.
Does it fly very often, Brian?
I've never seen it fly.
Ah, Johnny, it's your restoration project.
Yeah. Did you say it was an open hangar?
Yeah. You want me to send you photos?
Yeah.
Or you wanting to come get it?
I'll just take it.
That's how the open hangar
find out if it's for sale. We'll crowdfund it for Johnny.
Yeah.
When you say it's quite small, if you look at that picture, yeah, you're going to tell people what it is.
Good point, Captain. This is a Mooney Mite, MITE.
I mean, basically, that guy, whoever that is, couldn't actually close the canopy if he tried, could he?
Yep.
But he couldn't look any cooler.
Right, arm on the side, maybe.
Yeah, arm on the side. Maybe if he had a trendy beard, Johnny, what do you reckon?
Yeah.
And is that a Continental A65?
If you say it is, Ed, it is.
Well, I wasn't sure myself. I wasn't sure if it's A65 or 85 or 90. Anyway, it's a little Continental, isn't it? But what a brilliant machine.
Yeah, absolutely. Brian, you're up next.
Yeah, I gave two answers. I don't know which one we're about to see. I said my dream plane to come downstairs and find would be a Grumman Traveler. Yeah, great airplanes. One day I hope to have one. I just sold mine and it hurt a lot. And if I could afford to keep two airplanes, I would have kept it. I absolutely love that plane, but we outgrew it. So, and the other one, I don't know if you have pictures of, like my reel, probably. We were on our way home from Kentucky yesterday, and this beautiful, beautiful twin commander. Just these things are absolutely gorgeous. They're low riders. They look cool. The Bob Hoover things is cool. These are just awesome looking planes.
Very nice.
Yeah.
They're not
Very
that
nice.
expensive to buy, are they? But they're quite expensive to run.
No idea.
And who cares? It's a fancy hangar.
Yeah, you can definitely slip that past the finance committee.
Yeah. she's here. I gotta hear.
Yeah, don't mention it. Who's next?
Have you spoken about the real price of your new aeroplane?
Have I spoke to her about the real price? No. Why would I? I don't want to have to give up flying.
Comanches are about 15 grand, aren't they?
Yes. I hope now she's watching.
I'm up next, and I really struggled with trying to figure out what to get here. There are so many great aircraft, aren't there? And there are so many interesting things to do with aircraft. You've got backcountry flying, you've got a bit of water flying, you want to still be able to get somewhere in a reasonable amount of time. You want to be able to chuck all your mates in the back and all sorts of other stuff. Okay. Something like a carbon could be great, but it's not very good if you want to take 4 people down to the south of France, is it? So I ended up and I accept that there's a whole bunch of compromise here, but I ended up choosing the PC-6 because I figure that that's a beast of an airplane. It's not the prettiest airplane in the world, I grant you, but take the floats off, put skis on, put wheels on. You can go in and out of back country. You can fly in the airways. You can pretty much do whatever you want. You can chuck people out the back. You can chuck a whole load of crap in the back with a whole load of people. So that was my view. I decided to go for the D6 quarter.
That's a pretty nice all-round fixes everything solution. That
was my idea.
Yeah, very good. The only thing to remember is when it's on floats, don't open the door and just fall out because you'll quite clearly kill yourself. It's such a long way to the ground.
It's on floats, particularly amphibious floats. It's quite intimidating how big it is close up.
Yeah, it's like flying in the Albert Hall.
Yeah, you kind of need a rope to get up. Yeah. So Ed, over to you.
So far, Nick Allen says Ian's winning so far.
Thank you, Nick.
So my choice, and I was reminded of this recently because I was doing some behind the scenes work on some flyer stuff. But a few years ago, Ian and I were lucky enough to flight test one of these. He says, flicking through, there we go. Someone's got the photo for me. It's a Lockheed 12A Electra Junior. It's just a thing of sheer beauty. It's just gorgeous. And I think if I could find one of those under the Christmas tree, I would be an exceptionally happy person. Basically, it's a machine that Lockheed developed. They'd made the 10-passenger Electra, and then they decided they were going to make a smaller version that would be suited as a feeder airliner or a fantastic corporate transport. They kept the same engines that they had on the regular Electra when they created the Junior, which made it a bit of a hot rod. It was the Learjet of 1936, if you like. So space for you and 7 friends, 185 knots, 700 nautical miles. And when you rock up somewhere, what a beautiful way to do it. So that would be my choice.
And frankly, I wouldn't disagree with that. It's a stonking aircraft. I'm not sure it's as practical as the PC-6 to own, personally.
No skis for that. Well, maybe, I don't know, but no, definitely no floats. Well, no, actually, there's probably options for that. So
I have to say, I think I'm right in saying that some complete and utter retard built a nose wheel version of that.
Yes. There was famously a nose wheel version, and it was really ugly.
It was just terrible. Awful aeroplane. Good.
Yes.
There you go. So who won that then?
There was some good suggestions. Other people suggesting. James P. Airbus driver wanted an extra 300. Mark Greenfield knows his extras wanted a 300 NG. Paul Fraser Benison wanted a Stinson SR9 Reliant in blue. Good choice, Paul. What else? Steve McGee fancies a Firefly. Mark Litherland wants a C-130. That's quite big, Mark. David Eads, a Seawind. Aviator Steve says Catalina. Chris Holiday says a Beach Stagger Wing in yellow. Nice choice.
Apart from the tail.
But
Tail's
overwhelmingly, we have a lot of Edwins. Edwins. Okay, Edwins. Pete Jeffcoat says Pisa Wilga. Pete, you should have gone to Specsavers. Yeah, that will do, says Stuart Rue. And Paul Fraser Benison says apparently there's one on the way to the UK as we speak. Well, that will be brilliant if we get an Electra Junior here. So
absolutely.
Jane says I go for Ian's choice.
Thank you, Jane.
Yeah. I'm sorry to say there's a lot of. Oh no, I was going to say there was no one voting Brian. However, Nigel quadruple 4 says Brian for me.
That's my alternate personality that I just typed that.
Yeah,
I was going to say, I bet that's good, Brian. Yeah, that old Mooney mite's been forgotten completely, hasn't it? So, okay, so before we move on for a chat with Brian and a few other bits and pieces, should we just have the last question?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, this one's a little bit harder. Here you go.
Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way.
What question gives you those two numbers? And if you want a reminder, those numbers are 214 and 125.
Well, 214 just means the Met Office 4.
Yeah. That's the only thing I can think of. Form 214?
Could be a red herring, people.
Yeah.
Anyone in the comments got anything there? Look at this. Skycrow proves
Skycrow.
Thank you, Skycrow.
Yeah.
Well done, Tony.
Brian's choice.
Yeah. Tom Baldock says Met form.
No, that's the right answer, but it's not the one we're looking for.
Is it 200? Is it 214 students that Brian has sent solo? And 125 of them that returned.
Yeah.
No. Well, I'll tell you what. While people are thinking about that, let's have a quick chat with Brian. Get him to bring us up to date on his airplane thing, what he's doing, and how he's going on in life, and then we'll get him to the answer after that. So, Brian, I believe you got a brand new airplane. You sold your Grumman, and you bought something else.
A brand new 1961 Comanche 250.
I've got a picture of it somewhere. Hang on a second. There you go.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, look at that.
I landed at the airport yesterday, and we were going around the pattern. And the third landing, I saw my entire family, my mom, my dad, my wife, my kids, all waiting there to meet the new airplane. So it was a pretty cool experience.
Wow. Are they all good flyers? Are they all enjoy it?
They don't care about it at all.
which is why you bought 4 seats.
Yeah, they were coming out to be nice to me. My wife likes the utility. She doesn't care about flying. My daughter likes to fly. My son would rather drive. But we, the last time the 4 of us got in the Grumman together was probably 2 years ago. We just can't do it anymore, and so we needed something that would carry us further, faster, and bags and all that kind of stuff. So I looked at everything that fit the mission, and the Comanche was the only one that I felt kind of looked cool too. So it's kind of I don't know. I feel like they're just. I like the sort of their stance on the runway. They look like low riders. And I like low wings. So they're also not quite experiencing the same inflation that a lot of other aircraft are experiencing right now. So that also helped.
You can get them to ride lower if you don't put the gear down.
Oh, cool. Thanks. I'm gonna try that. I'll let you know.
So I don't know if anyone's seen it, but Brian put out a video recently of Brian attempting to hire a car, doing his search for an airplane. You've been traveling the country looking at basket cases, I understand.
Yeah, I it's hard. Most people think they've got something that's a little bit better than it really is when you come out to see it. And so, and I experienced this with the first aircraft. And but sure enough, start traveling and start looking at things, and the plane looks good, and then you open the logbook, and it's just a horror story. And I went through 3 of those, and then there are at least 2 that I walked up to, and from 30 feet, I was like, "Oh, that's not it. This is an easy decision." But the harder ones are the ones where the owner just keeps telling you how great a plane it is, and you're looking at it going, "It's not." And then this one wasn't advertised anywhere. Someone just pointed it out to me that there was a guy thinking about selling it. And I went through, and it had the specific bells and whistles that I was looking for. And so when I reached out to the owner, literally he goes, "I'm looking to get into a Grumman Traveler." I was like, "If you would have talked to me 3 weeks ago, I'd have traded you one for this plane." So he's out looking for a Grumman. But I got to the logbooks on this one, and everything looked good. It had been flying very recently. The owner flies it a lot. I opened the cowling, everything looked very, very clean. It seems like it was well maintained by the last handful of owners. And so then I decided I'll get a pre-buy on it. That pre-buy came back good. And so we flew it back from Kentucky yesterday, and every mile I was just more and more convinced I made the right decision. Such a great airplane.
Brilliant.
Excellent. Great.
We've lost Johnny.
We've lost
He's
Johnny.
run out of internet.
Yeah. Put some more money in, Johnny.
Swipe your card.
Yeah. So was the Comanche always the front runner for you, Brian, or was there anything else that you fancied?
I was looking at Comanches and Debonairs, and then people will hate this. I went and flew a Bonanza, and I just didn't like it. I know. people, everybody, Bonanza's going to be your last plane. And I got one. I was just like, I wasn't crazy about it. But as far as utility, they both offered similar performance. The Bonanzas are a little bit more pricey. So, and then I flew in a couple of Comanches, and I just kept going back to it, and just going, I really like the way it feels. I like the way it flies. I like the size and the layout and everything. So that was pretty much going to be it. If I was Debonaires and Comanches, and then after I flew them both, I was like, it's going to be a Comanche. So this, I don't know, it might be my last plane. I don't know. I'm loving it right now, but I'm a day in, so we'll see.
Surely there's a Cirrus in your future, Brian.
Not Dad's. I don't. You know what? I don't know. I love it. If I'm ever in a position to buy one, I love the Cirrus. I think it's a great plane, but they're just crazy expensive. There's no way I could ever afford it. And I don't know. I'm very fortunate I have access to one from my father, but I look at how much the bills are on it, and I'm like, this is why I own very old airplanes.
You mean you don't make a fortune out of YouTube like everybody else?
I think I'm upside down on my channel for the most part. I may be breaking even, but no. Oh, there it is.
We got a couple of other photos here that Johnny's uploaded. That looks pretty sharp, Brian. I like that.
Yeah, I really, really like it.
Nice paint, 3-blade prop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nice 3-blade propeller. That'll shorten really well when you land it gear up.
Yeah, that's how you get those bent tips that are so aerodynamic.
That's those Q-tips. Yeah, they're cool.
Very nice.
Yeah.
You need to organise like a family washing, polishing, hoovering day.
Yeah, well, it won't be a family thing, but the guy who flew the paint's a little dull, and he said he goes, I can show you how to bring it back to life. He goes, you'll get halfway through it and decide you don't care anymore because it's a lot of work, but we're gonna get out there and give it a shot.
Yeah, it's called the application of money and a new paint job.
And everyone in the Turner household will be surprised when they get polishing cloths and wax
for Christmas.
And for Christmas.
Yeah. Okay, let's just quickly, as well Johnny's out of the room, let's pop back to this quiz for a second. Just a quick reminder for people.
Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way.
So have we had any entries into that particular competition at the moment? Any from you, Brian, or from you, Ed?
I genuinely have no idea. Someone did say, is it votes for Ian, votes for Ed versus votes for Ian? But otherwise, yeah, no, not a clue. Pretty much.
I'm with Steve.
Unbelievable. Okay, you ready? I'm going to try.
A really bad blood pressure result for your next medical.
I'm liking that one. Is Johnny coming back? There's a little Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny's slowly percolating back into the room.
Yeah. Very slowly.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not going to wait for Johnny. I'm going to play you the answer. You ready for this?
Yeah, go for it.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Can't believe anyone didn't know that.
I knew it.
214 days before we go to Oshkosh, 125 days before we go to Aero Friedrichshafen. Let's hope that they both take place next year, because we'll definitely be at both of those. That's going to be, that's kind of the. Are you going to Oshkosh, Brian?
Absolutely, 100%. I got my ticket and I got the NOTAMs. No, I haven't got the NOTAM yet, but I got the ticket. I know I got something.
Ticket?
Yeah, you can go buy your tickets now.
Entry tickets, but you're going to fly the Comanche there, aren't you?
Oh yeah, yeah. Your camping pass or whatever, they went on sale like 3 or 4 weeks ago. So
okay, well, good luck with that then. But we'll see you there.
All right, I'll come find you guys.
Yeah, well, we'll be there all week.
This year I get to park in Vintage.
Okay. You're going for the Grand Champion Lindy.
I don't know what that is.
It's the awards they give out.
Unfamiliar. I just go around. I'll walk around and look at airplanes.
Yeah, no, well, we look forward to that. So that's really good. Johnny, you've changed rooms, haven't you? You've gone to somewhere that's got decent internet.
Yeah, full fibre.
Why didn't you get there to start with, or is that a dumb question? Did you think those burning logs meant you look sophisticated in the background or something?
Well, that's what I was thinking, yeah, but it wasn't. It wasn't really working, was it?
No. It was. Well, I'm not sure I should do this, Jake, but it's nearly, the burning logs were nearly as bad as when Trent Palmer did that advert for liqueur in his video channel. Yeah. I may have done the equivalent of when Dave insulted Brian, but
yeah.
I'm Trent Palmer. Me and Haley, after a long flight, we like drinking whatever it was. It's a European. It's a European liqueur with all sorts of aromatics. It was like, however much money they paid you for that, it wasn't worth it.
I didn't see that one. I'm gonna have to go look for it.
I'll see if I can find. It's one where he goes on a camping trip, and at the end of it, it's like so funny. It's but unfortunately, it wasn't done tongue in cheek. It was genuine. Anyway, so I guess we won't have Trent on as a guest, will we now?
No.
There you go.
He probably doesn't watch. So what plans have you got for next year, Brian? Apart from Oshkosh and fly your Comanche more, are we expecting a blockbuster video sometime?
You know what? I don't know. Like, I'm so just like frazzled from all this plane stuff. I'm halfway through prepping for my commercial written, so I do think I want to get the CFI. Hopefully, I can do that next year. And then I just want to fly to stuff. Like, we have this plane now, so we're going to go fly to Santa Fe on a skiing trip. My wife's actually agreed to come to Oshkosh for the first time, so I think that should be fun. But I really want to take advantage of the fact that we have this machine and get to use it for the family and what it's built for. Because with the Grumman, it really was 99% of my flying was just go to Oshkosh, and then it's just a bunch of little $100 hamburger stuff. But it's like, this opens up the ability for us to go, where do you want to go? And all of us to go together. So I want to do a whole lot of flying. The Colorado Mountain Flying Club has invited me to go out there and take their mountain flying course, which I think would be a whole lot of fun. Probably scary, but I think it'd be a whole lot of fun. So that's something on my list, hopefully for next fall. But just fly as much as possible. And I've never been to Sun and Fun. I really want to go to Sun and Fun.
Oh, don't bother with that. Just go to Oshkosh.
Have you guys go to Sun and Fun, or?
I used to go to Sun and Fun. Don't go anymore though.
All right.
It's kind of okay.
Kind of okay. I don't even know. I've never been. I've heard it's like a smaller Oshkosh.
It's a much smaller Oshkosh, but to be fair, it's a bloody long way for us. It's longer for us than it is for you, clearly.
Okay. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
But I mean, no, I don't want to. No, loads of people love it, and it's a nice kind of break from the winter, and you get some Florida sun and stuff like that. But once you've been to Oshkosh, it's really difficult to. I'm going to stop upsetting people there. It's great, yeah. You're right. It's awesome, but no cheese curds.
Oh well, I may be out.
Yeah. So you say you're going for your CFI and your commercial.
Commercial, yeah, that's what I'm hoping to do. Commercial, yeah, I'm now that I've got a plane that I can go do the commercial stuff in, I want to do it. I know that the requirements have changed, but the guy got the retract and the prop and all that kind of stuff. And then I really do think, I think I would enjoy teaching people to fly. I go back and forth on wondering if it's like, I think it'd be fun to teach people to fly, but I get a little bit nervous about who's going to show up in a ratty 150 and me have to go, no, I don't think so. Like the whole turning people away kind of thing. Like,
show up in a what?
Say again?
Show up in a what? A Ravi 150?
A ratty 150.
I'm concerned about flying in airplanes that I'm not familiar with. How will they be maintained and stuff? That's the aspect of flying.
Oh, okay.
So if I could teach people in my planes or planes that I'm confident in, I think it'd be good. But I don't know as an instructor who all approaches you. We got a lot of pilot community stuff out here, and so there's the reality of it may not be as cool as it seems in my head, but it's something I'm interested in at least trying.
Brilliant.
Captain says, "Fly the Atlantic, Brian. Come to England."
There you go.
Comanche holds 90 gallons. I'll try it.
Well, am I right in thinking my little bit of research on Comanche 250s is that Max Conrad used one to set his 7,000 nautical mile record, didn't he?
Unfamiliar.
Yeah, no, he took all the seats out and replaced everything with fuel tanks, but
with fuel tanks.
Yeah, it's a big. The Comanche was used a lot by people setting records. So
last week someone took a Comanche to the National Stoll competition, and I know he beat at least a couple of people. So there's some really interesting video of this Comanche just like wobbling in ground effect trying to get up. It was pretty cool.
Did he just do the landing bit, and did he just pop the gear on once he touched down?
No, he did both. He really did. There's a lot of videos circling around Facebook. I don't know, about a week ago. So that's why I really bought it. I want to compete.
I reckon the Comanche's probably got the range to get to England.
Yeah,
not in one go, clearly, but
yeah, with mine, I think as is, it's about, I want to say 900 miles. With tip tanks, it's more like 1100.
Yeah, we'll be all right with 900 miles.
It's probably.
I don't think there's any legs over 900.
Yeah, we can definitely crowdfund tip tanks for you. So we're working on the principle you're coming to England next year.
Yeah. Yeah. Start shopping around for insurance now.
Oh, yeah, that was the expensive part. Insurance. When you have no retract time. Whew.
Are you sure it wasn't your name set people?
I like to pretend like it was because of the retract time. Why are you stomping on my tree?
Aren't you that guy on YouTube?
Yeah. The insurance company just said no. We don't care what it is. No.
Aren't you that instructor? Right. It is. We are currently running 15 minutes over. I know it's a special Christmas edition, but people have got meals to go to and houses to go to. So let's see if we can't move on a little bit and run through. Johnny, what have we got coming up? Ed or anyone?
Oh, what events wise?
26th of December, Boxing Day flying, the Great Escape flying at Sandown. 29th, there's the amazing Old Warden pedal plane attempt. This is the hope to have the world's biggest gathering of pedal planes at Old Warden. And a simultaneous taxi. So, and that's all I've got. Oh, and New Year's Day flyings at Bodmin, Popham, North Reps. 8th and 9th of January, North Coats, Brass Monkey flying. So,
yeah.
So Brian, have you seen this?
McElroy crossed the Atlantic 3 times in his Comanche on around the world in 80 days.
Wow.
There we go. Goals. Stretch goals. Okay, 28 180 came over from USA last week.
Yeah. And the longest leg is about 670 nautical miles.
That's doable.
So
cool.
There we go. You heard it here first. Brian Turner said that's doable to crossing the Atlantic.
Yeah. I'm not going to post up Catkin's comment because I'll get in trouble. Good. So there you go. Excellent. Mikey's wings across the sky. It's fantastic. Join the Flyer Club. If you're not a member of the Flyer Club, buy someone a present. It's only £7.50 a quarter. You can do that. It's a great present. It's kind of like Flyers, not just for Christmas, it's for life. And it's only 4 quarters at £7.50 a quarter. I don't know if there's any more, but I think certainly getting to 20 minutes over, we are pushing people's tolerance and goodwill here. So big thanks to Brian Dave Turner for coming and joining us. Congratulations.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
We look forward to your next comedy videos. Maybe less of the UK accent. Let's taking the mickey out of Americans or something. So thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for joining us so much during the year. We look forward to 2022. Don't forget next week's special on the 30th. Have a great Christmas. Have a great New Year. Enjoy your flying if you're living somewhere where it's not going to rain or get snowy and all the rest of it. And I think on that note, well done on the quiz. And on that note, I think we are about ready to say goodbye. So
Merry Christmas, everyone, and have a good New Year. And we'll see you in 2022.
See you soon.
See you.
Bye.
Bye, guys.